Hello everybody and welcome back to the finale of the Tournament of the Old World pre-elimination rounds with the Wood Elves, as we've got Orion taking on Durthu, and we've got Jeff the Ref getting in a little bit of shade in this fine summer heat as we go over to the final that he tells me is indeed a go-go. Now, we've got the two previous winners here, both in pretty good fights, knockdown, drag-out affairs. Orion and Durthu. So Durthu's forces here on the right, I guess, initially. His is a very range-focused force this time. It generated a Deepwood Scouts force, Glade Guard. Glade Guard was Starfire Shafts. Deepwood Scouts again, and Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver try to say that one 10 times fast. Swift Shiver Shards. Very ranged focus force with obviously Durthu himself in the middle of it all. We've then got the unit of War Dancers. This is a unit that hasn't come up so far in the fight. These are a very high output damage unit, very lightly armoured, very fast moving, and then a unit of Dryads. And that pretty much makes up the entirety of his force. Across the way we have Orion. He starts out in the open field. Not a good start on this map, but there we go. His force is a little tiny bit more balanced. He's got a unit of Dryads and a unit of Eternal Guards with shields, with a Hawk Riders, a Wild Riders, which fits the theme for Orion. He is the Lord of the Wild Hunt, with some Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards, a unit of Glade Guard, and a final unit of Deepwood Scouts. So we'll see how this goes as the two sides clash here to determine the victor of the Wood Elves pre-elimination round. I'm just seeing what the spell's being cast here. It's a big one. Is it going to happen? Whatever that spell is, it must be a debuff. It looked like it was a debuff being cast there. On the opposite side there is a spell being cast, but it looks like it was cast at the War Dancers. It missed, and the Glade Guard ran straight into it and took some pretty significant damage. And speaking of significant damage, the War Dancers, under half strength before the fight's even been truly joined. Also got Durthu already taking a lot of arrow fire in return. We can see the Wild Riders looking for a nice sneaky flank attack. Durthu there casting a spell straight into the Dryads and just absolutely tore them apart. I mean, look at the number of casualties he just caused with that one. That significant work there by the ancient tree man. We can see Orion just stood out in the field there, just hocking spears at people, getting a lot of kills. The War Dancers, yeah, they had a rough one, even with Wisson's Wild Form upgraded cast on them for better armor piercing and armor. Didn't really help them out. They got torn up by that spell quite early on, a lot of range fire, and that's forced them to retreat. You can see that the Dryads are trying to hold up Durthu, who's almost down to half, but I'm saying that Orion has taken a pretty fair hit himself. So we can see that a lot of these arrows are being directed at Orion himself, and he is getting chip damage, like very severe. He is unbreakable, however, so I don't think that's really going to affect him that much. As long as he's got hit points, he will stay and he will fight, whereas on the other hand, Durthu does not. He does have his own morale to consider, and he may retreat if it's deemed necessary. You can see that the War Dancers have gotten their morale back, and they're looking for revenge. It looks like they're going to go chase down this unit of Dryads that they bumped into, because, well, the AI will tend to just immediately engage in melee any unit that they encounter as they run backwards into the fight. And we can see, though, that is not working out for them, as the Wild Riders have decided to charge them. The Hawk Riders there for Orion have just been utterly mauled there. A lot of ranged fire just killed a lot of their units, and they are routing. The Wild Riders are withdrawing a bit as Durthu is engaging them. We've got the centre line here now that's being fought between Durthu's Dryads and Orion's Eternal Guard. You see that this fight it's a bit spicy, you see that, but I'd say the Eternal Guard, they may have the upper hand in this. It'll be a bit of a slower grind. As long as nothing else gets involved, I would actually think that the Eternal Guard would win that battle. Orion is nearly down, as is Durthu, as the two generals of this get stuck into it. You can see that both of them are still taking the occasional bit of range fire, and that hit there almost killed Durthu. Almost took him down, and his morale broke, and he is just wandering off. This is a perfect opportunity for Orion to actually try and get the kill, but most of Orion's forces are retreating. This is the problem. Orion himself is nearly down. He may have temporarily broken the Dryads, but the Eternal Guard have fled because of the range fire coming on them. They are being torn apart. Looks like Durthu's actually going to... Yep, he has managed to rally. Oh, and Orion is down. That has got to be it. That has got to be it. The last holdout. Yep, it was a short but sweet one. As we head over to the stats breakdown here. So we've got a pretty different force here, composition, as I said, but numbers are actually a little bit more different. 451 for Durthu's side, 394 for Orion. 204 losses, 261. Again, Durthu proving why he was the overall winner here. 83 kills, nearly tied both occasions. He's running the edge there of being downed himself, but it definitely paid off both occasions. Big damage numbers, big kill numbers for him. 53 for his Dryads, 28 for the War Dancers, despite the fact that they did take a lot of casualties very early on. 37 for the Glade Guard. One Glade Guard unit didn't get a single kill. That was one of the Starfire shafts. And out of the Deepwood Scouts, middling to poor results there, 35, 10, and 14. Over on the other side, Orion did pretty good work by comparison to the rest of his force. 49 kills, 7 for one of his Dryad units, 19 for his Eternal Guard with shields, 33 though for his Glade Guard, 34 for the Deepwood Scouts, and 20 for his other Deepwood unit. Wild Riders did decent work, 37, while the Hawk Riders, they did very little. They only dealt 582 damage. Very, very poor performance by the Hawk Riders, and it may have actually worked out better for Orion if he'd maybe had another unit of cavalry, or maybe even another unit of ranged infantry. But that's how it plays out, as that was the final. And that puts Durthu as the representative of the Wood Elves for the Grand Tournament of the Old World, starting relatively soon. There's only the Chaos Dwarfs to get through, and then we'll be over to those much grander scale battles. So we'll see how that shakes out. But until then, have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.